Okay, so we are painting this today, this nice moonlight scene with plants around it over the water. And I have to push record today. So we already started with a white circle. Oops, halfway to the top. We painted this center white. And then I took the purple and started to kind of expand my circle around. I didn't mix it with the white. And then I kept going with the blue paint. So the blue's gonna go all the way to the edges until only the corners are left. And you could see that I'm doing it very loosely. So there's still kind of white space left on my canvas. I'm doing that on purpose. So once I have this purple and the blue around it, I'm actually gonna dip back into my white. I have not cleaned my brush yet. So we have all the colors here, and I'm gonna just start blending it all together until all of the spaces on the canvas are full.
So you
You guys see how I blended it? About to do the corners next. We're gonna keep our brush messy and dip a little bit in the black and start blending that around the corners. Like so. And all of the colors should be blending it. So it shouldn't be black, black. It should be kind of muddy. And I'm gonna mix, now that I have the black here, I'm gonna actually mix it with a little bit of the purple and blue so it blends a little bit better. So you can see the left side of this one, should see, is blended nicely with the blue and the purple. And just do your best to make them come together so it looks like a real moonlit sky. If you feel like it's getting too dark, like maybe you put too much black, you can always just dip your paintbrush back into the white and start blending it. And it'll lighten right back up. It's a little bit different this week. Here we are. We have the beginnings of our moon scene. So now you can clean your brush. There we are. Okay, so the next thing is to start doing the horizon line, which you can see we're gonna go like into where the moon is, and we're gonna make a nice thin black line straight across. So I would normally use the small baby brush, but I'm actually gonna use this big flat brush again. And I'm gonna just turn it sideways so that I can make a nice straight line all the way across. You can always fix it or just keep going as is, depending on how it looks. But yeah, so we're cutting off the moon, just the bottom sliver, not too much.
Oh, my moon is high.
High in the sky. All right, so I have my line. So from here, I'm gonna dip back in the black and I'm gonna make some more lines in black just randomly, just covering the sides like this. You make your lines, our little zebra lines here. And then we're going to fill it in the same way with the other colors. So without cleaning my brush, I'm gonna start doing the blue. And I'm gonna make these lines kind of all over and I'm gonna go back and forth. And I want the black to spread, but I wanna leave white space in the center. So I'm gonna just keep adding blue to it. It shouldn't be overwhelmingly black, but it should be darker than just a regular blue. So get more full at the bottom. I have my black lines and my blue lines and kind of a white space in the center. And that stroke is just going back and forth in the brush sideways. So now we're gonna do the same thing. My brush is still messy with the blue and black. I'm gonna get the purple now. And I'm gonna finish this off with a bunch of purple lines on both sides. Then and I still have like a bunch of white space happening. It looks pretty good. So after you are satisfied with your black, blue, and purple lines here on the side of the water, you can clean your brush. Whenever you're ready for the white paints, we're gonna do more of those short sideways strokes so that it really looks like you're capturing the movement of the actual water itself. So I'm literally just dipping. Once my my colors start to look like they're blending, I get more white paint. And I just keep blending it in using these. The strokes very short and gestural, so it mimics the waves of the water. Okay, so I've blended what I think is successful. I've blended my colors on the sides. I'm about to do my white in the center. Yeah, that looks a little better. So I'm gonna clean my brush again, and I'm gonna do my white in the center part. And I'm gonna use a lot of paint, and I'm gonna keep it simple. Like I'm gonna try not to blend it too much with the other colors so that you can really see the white. Perfect. So now we have the reflection of that moonlight on the water. So for the reeds and the grass, I started with purple actually, and then I used the black. I don't remember if it was purple or a purplish white. It was whatever I had here. And basically what you're gonna do is do very light strokes where you start from the bottom and you curve them up to the top very lightly. I don't know if you can see these, but if I make more of them, maybe you will. And I'm not gonna make too many in the purple. A majority of them are gonna end up being black, but I do just want a little bit of purple to come through, just to give it some depth. Or you can get creative and do it with the blue too if you like, or mix the blue and the white or the purple and the white and do it that way. But just know that these are for the reeds that are kind of gonna look like they're in the background. So there shouldn't be too many. And they can cross over each other just so they look more natural. So that's about all I'm gonna do for the purple. So this is basically going to continue. I'm gonna start with the black. And I'm gonna make, I don't know, let's say maybe like 4 black ones that come to about the top of the water and on each side, and maybe 1 tall one that goes up to where the moon is on each side. Just so you can see that we're in the reeds. Let me show you guys. So I have my 2 tall ones that are gonna reach right by that moon. And I'm gonna make 4 medium-sized ones on each side here, just kind of landing wherever they will. Okay, so now I have my 4 medium-sized ones on each side. Then I can just fill the bottom up with a bunch of tiny black ones until the bottom is just completely full. So that might take you the longest. Let me show you guys. Or you can see in this one how many I put to kind of fill it out. And I put less in the center and more on each side. So I've got 1/2 kind of done, or one side. So just kind of doing a bunch of strokes until it's completely filled in on the bottom. So I'm gonna keep going here. All right. And I believe mine should be pretty good now. So these are all my reeds. I still have to make the little dandelion flowers at the top of some of them. But this is what it should look like we're looking through the glass or through the grass to see the moonrise. So I'm gonna put some flowers on here. There might be like 2 stems on each side that I'm gonna put them on. So let me show you how I'm going to do that part. How did I do that? So basically when I make the little daisies, I wonder if I should show you guys on a piece of paper first. So, and this is already a painting that I have. But what you're gonna do, so let's say this is our reed. So there's 2 different types of flowers we're gonna make. The first one is just gonna be the plain flower. So to do that, I'm gonna make some little strokes going out here, kind of like an arrow. And then I'm gonna make, I don't know, like 4, 5 or so curved lines coming out here like that. And that's our flower. That's one of them. Once you have that shape, you can get fancy and we can put little dots at the tips of each of those stems. That's our flower. That's one of them. The other flower is gonna be this, but stems coming out. So I'm gonna put maybe like 4 stems coming out here. It's not gonna be perfect. Let's say that. And then I'm gonna redo this flower on the end of each of these stems. So we put the little arrow. And then let me put all the arrows. We put the little arrows. Once we have the arrows, we can start making the scoops for the flower. Just 4 or 5 of those little lines. And we have all of our lines. We could do the little dots. And those are what our flowers look like. I hope that this helps you see it better than when I put it on this dark canvas, because I just want to be able to show you so you could see. So those are the types of flowers we're doing. Boom. It's not crazy fancy, but they do kind of look like dandelions. So now we can do it here. So I'm gonna want to do this to the ones that are up high by the moon so you can see them. So I'm gonna make my first flower here. I have my arrows. And now we can do our little scoops. So that's a cute one. Let me do some more.